want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah. Wake up, the cake up. Raise up, or make us do something. We don't want to bite down on you. Right now, on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the race for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Where the white flag, they forfeit it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I'm gonna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No taxing, we'll dismantle it. Shake up the building and ramble it. Whip it, shut up the critics and analysts. Come through dripping, I'ma set it off. Game after game, you can bet it off. Quarterback got range if you block them off. Quarterback did an option and set it off. Duck, goose, linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the Jew. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a new. Yeah, and I spend a dime every two. We gon' lock down on the offense. Bust down the skeleton fossil. I'm not addressing the problem. Julio on the post, you can't stop him. Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset Chewbacca. Watch the blitz on the left, we gon' block him. We some animal, yeah, we some goblin. Man to man, we gon' cover you properly. Man to man, you can't beat me impossibly. Red zone, this my house like my property. Do a quarterback sneakers on 4th and 3. Get the ends on the offensive block for me. I step on him down, get off of me. I'm trucking them over, he under me. Want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah.
I just hike the ball and I look for the open man. The zone, I'm trying to get in. Open the playbook, the book of the champion. Get flipped if you trying to get in. I got the front defense, they got the end. Going for long, on 1st and 10. Gotta go hard, we gotta give all. No loss or excuses, cause we gotta win. They say they sleep, must not be a fan. Get at your man's.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. It's the marquee game of opening weekend, and off we go on a Sunday night on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return back. First carry now for Jordan Howard. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. This is Howard on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Trubisky with a give to Howard. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. On the left side, a catch by White. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while, making it even better than what they expected.
A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Trubisky. Mitchell Trubisky's first touchdown pass of his sophomore campaign. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Flush to his right. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
319, 158, 319.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Crosby with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. For the Bears last season, Charles, as they come out here, a 2-game improvement, but when you go from 3-13 to 5-11, not enough to save their coaching staff. So in comes 40-year-old Matt Nagy. He's the new head coach and seems to be bringing a new optimism with it.
Yeah, and you hate to put too much on the shoulders of not just a new head coach, but a second-year quarterback in Mitchell Trubisky. But this is the city of broad shoulders, and I think that he has them, and he's looking forward to working with this new crew. And similar to teams that really elevated with coaching changes, the Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champions, the Los Angeles Rams last year, I think that can happen here in Chicago as well because of the structure they'll put in place for this quarterback. Head coach who knows quarterbacks, offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, they will really work with this guy, and I think that this team has a chance to roll.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll give to Howard. He can't get him down. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Trubisky on 1st down. Over the middle, the tight end Shaheen with it. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Charles, you are the master of abstract facts. So who would you say is the best player ever drafted from Ashland University in Ohio?
How about the only one ever drafted from there? Adam Shaheen, the tight end. Went to the Chicago Bears. Began his college career, though, as a basketball player, Division II in the state of Pennsylvania.
First touch of the game here for Billy Cunningham. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Let's go, let's go.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Dancing to his left. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Jake Ryan coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. It's second and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it's third down. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on first and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at third and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
On third and goal, Trubisky. Flushed out right. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's fourth down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be second down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Hey, where y'all going? 319! 319!
Rodgers to throw on second down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead, it just brings up fourth down. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep, Taylor Gabriel. Pulled in at the 24. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bears take over. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Let's go.
Howard with his sights on a third straight 1,000-yard season to begin his career. Here's 1st and 10. They run with Cunningham. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky buying time to his left. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
You see it?
On the handoff, this is Howard. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Rodgers going to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield into a double team, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick and an alley to run. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
After the interception, here's Trubisky, eluding the pressure right. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Let's go.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. Being chased out left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
On 3rd down, this is Howard. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
The Packers making their way out. As we look back to last year, I don't know that anybody foresaw how things would play out. Heavy favorites in the NFC North, but the injury to Aaron Rodgers that cost him more than half the season, ultimately too much to overcome.
And when you think about how Green Bay has played over the last 10 years, there's been a lot of sameness to them, and that's been good. Continuity, offense, defense, coaching staff. But a lot of changes in the offseason for Green Bay, especially on the defensive side of the ball. You'll see a severe shakeup there. But the best thing for them, Aaron Rodgers, still in a Green Bay uniform. 16 games from Aaron Rodgers always makes Green Bay a contender for a Super Bowl crown.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Drops it to Jones in the flat.
Wrap up.
Still moving. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. 50 yards. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. But he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go. So you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
A gain of 6 there on first.
It felt like Mitchell Trubisky, the quarterback for the Bears, was in the draft room with his general manager, because picking up this pass catcher from Memphis, Anthony Miller, made to order for a young quarterback. A nice slot who can make plays like we just saw.
He is fun to watch. Went from being a walk-on at Memphis to completely rewriting the record books out wide. On second down, Trubisky. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
There we go. You see it? You see it?
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
There we go. You see it? You see it? Red, up!
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Trey Burton in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Try to drop one in, but it's incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in our initial Sunday night telecast of the new season. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Rodgers. Flush to his right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Khalil Mack. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They run with Howard, and he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Trubisky will throw. Forced out to his left. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, it's Howard. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That good for 19 and a first down. Remember at the outset you talked about the key being keeping him under 100 yards. Well, he's over 100 now. We're in the 3rd quarter.
So that has happened, right? So that goal's gone. Can they bottle him up the rest of the way? They'll need to do so if they want to try and win this one.
Here's Trubisky. Steps away to his left. Nice move at the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Mitchell Trubisky with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Bears will extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now the Packers get set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Rodgers now to throw. Flushed out right. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Throwing is Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Look 58!
Shotgun now for Rodgers. A dump underneath to Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Now Rodgers looking deep for Adams. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
He's going to float this one deep right side. There's the first NFL catch for a name to remember, Equanimous St. Brown. Touchdown, Packers. Equanimous St. Brown, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And that trims the lead down to 9. So the lead is now dwindled to 9 as the kick here is away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Set up! 180!
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Now it's Trubisky. Dancing to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Here's Trubisky to throw. He may try and run for this. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd down and 12. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He can run for it, and he will. And avoids the contact by sliding. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points, so that's not mission accomplished.
Through an opening, and there he goes.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll begin the drive with Howard, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. On the left side, a catch by White. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. What an opening weekend it's been already. Could the best finish be coming here on Sunday night? We'll find out as we come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now it's Trubisky. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Throwing here, Trubisky. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. Give him 30 yards there. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Miller on the catch over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Now Trubisky. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. One of the bigger plays in the game into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. And Parkey's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And pretty good field position here. He's out of bounds right at the 35. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting. And
a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Again, it's Howard. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Call it a pickup of 7, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Here comes a big one as this crowd gets up making some noise. It's 3rd and short. The offense on 3rd down tonight, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Trubisky keeps it himself, and they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Running with Howard. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
This first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season, we get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Chicago, it'll be a happy trip home as they start the season with a road victory here on a Monday night. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.